All right. Welcome, everybody, to AP37. This is Ether Pliskin 37, and I'm not wearing a hat tonight. How do I look? A little military? A little on top? Nothing on the bottom? How's everybody doing tonight? Tonight, I am talking about the reptilians. So, buckle in, sit down, relax, grab yourself a nice cool drink and something to eat if you like, and kick back. I'm about to bring you through a little journey. Welcome to my mind. It's a scary place. Alright, I've been trying for hours, been messing with the soundboard and man, trying to get the sound just perfect, but that's what I get for buying a $28 mic and soundboard, huh? That's what happens when you just don't got the cash flow to spend on things you want. Alright, everybody, let's get going with this. I hope you're all doing good. And one of my cats is making some noise. Yeah, you too, boy. My kitty. I love them cats. Love them. All right. Let's get going on this. So this is the reptilians. I found out a few things about the reptilians and I made a couple videos. I didn't think they were too great. They're on my page. They're decent. I posted them on TikTok back when I had an open TikTok and I wasn't shadow banned like I am on Instagram and every other platform. But my one video got over 60,000 views in like 2 days. I gained about 3,000 followers from just that video. And TikTok tried to remove it a few times. I appealed it and they brought it back, and then they took it off again after they brought it back after it was appealed. And then for some reason they do not want this stuff posted. They like to shadow ban it. Then finally they gave up and they just shadow banned me. But that profile got scrubbed by TikTok. Now I'm on another profile trying to gang it back up. Just like my Instagram. It's like I'm on my 4th or 5th Instagram. Every time I hit 4,000 followers, I get scrubbed. They kick me out of the profile, lock me out, won't let me back in, and then make it disappear after I've been locked out for so many months. But that's the way it goes in this fucking game. The conspiracy game. If it wasn't just a conspiracy, why would they be so hyped to hide that information? You know what I'm saying? All right. Let's get on with this show. I hope everybody can hear me all right. If you can't, then I'm going to be doing a live with no sound because I can't see the chat. Because let me pull up the chat. Hold on, let me see. There's the live control panel on the ducks. There's chat right there. Let's see chat. Oh, I don't know if I can pull it up. Yeah, I don't see nothing. Hold on. Black this out. Open this up. No, it won't let me pull it up. My computer's old. It's an old computer. I bought it like back in 2019. It was already used, refurbed laptop. My wife actually bought it, then she just gave it to me because she didn't like it. It was too cheap for her. And I never used it till just recently. I just started making these videos and like I need a laptop so I can set up this little live station I have. Oh wait, there we go. Now I got the chat. I'm going to type something in there. Yep, there we go. Alright, got the chat. Chat's up. I'm going to switch the music back. I'm going to keep this jam going tonight. Gotta keep it hyped. All right, everybody. Let's get this show going. Get the show on the road. No hat. Ugh. Feeling alive. Feeling alive. The reptiles are out there and they're coming after everyone. They've been in your mind. They're eating your prana. All right. They're eating everyone's souls. These are the devils. These are the jinn. These are, in my opinion, the Nephilim. They're connected to the Jokers. And we'll get into this whole system. The Jokers, the DMT Jokers, they're connected. There are interdimensional travelers. They are the shape-shifting reptilians. All right, here we go. Oh man, hold on. I'm gonna have to do something. Should have tested this beforehand. All right, here I go. Let me test two things. Move this soundboard. Oh man. Of course I'd be doing some stuff like this on right in the live. Alright. Boom, there we go. Now let me test this other one. Hold on. Hold on. Nope. Come on. Wait, that's not it. This is it. There it goes. Alright. It's good. Alright. Sounds good. Let's go. Oh. Alright. So, here 10 things you should know about the reptilian conspiracy theory. Now, I know they're not talking about lizards driving around fancy cars, though that's not far from what is happening. Now, back in 1999, David Icke put out the book, The Biggest Secrets, the book that will change the world. In that book, Icke posts that society is controlled by humanoid reptiles. For the sake of simplicity, we'll call them the reptilians. While it may sound like a vividly outlandish conspiracy theory, approximately 12 million Americans believe that it's actually true. And that's just Americans. That's not including all the rest of the people around the world. All right. 10. The origins of the reptilians. Now, this is according to this article. There are two schools of thought on where the reptilians came from. Some believe that they evolved here on Earth, left Earth after they mastered intergalactic travel, and then returned millions of years later. Others believe their home planet is the Draco constellations, supposedly came to Earth thousands of years ago. Okay, first off, I don't believe in space. I believe in like the ether that's in between all matter. That is a dynamic fluid, a divine energy that connects all matter to itself. It is the building block. It holds everything together. It's the divine spirit. It's the air you breathe. It's the etheric fluid between all substance. All right? That's what we live in. We live in a liquid. It's a light liquid. It's not like water. Water is more dense liquid in the buoyancy. So therefore, that's where the fish live, because that's what they breathe. And we breathe the ether. We breathe the spirit of God. We are inside of God. Now, in this realm, space travel or interdimensional travel is the black and white checkerboard All right, you'll see symbolism like this in Twin Peaks, the movie, or other movies that have the black and white symbolism. This is symbolizing the duality, the 2 degrees of the same thing. The thing can be a degree over here, hot, and it can be a degree lower, cold, but it's always the same thing. But it also represents symbolism of interdimensional traveling through different worlds. And there is other worlds. There's the microverse, the macroverse. There's all kinds of spiritual type of realms, different frequencies. Like when you go take DMT and you go to a different realm, and people see the jokers, and they have the black and white symbolism on them because they travel in between the worlds. And these reptilians are connected to they're the same entities in my mind. Now let's get back onto this. We'll get into that a little bit more on that later. I just wanted to explain that. Now, then they either decided or were forced to go undercover. They hid themselves from our reality, but actually they're not really hiding that much. I believe that they have they've been here for a while, since whatever the last reset happened, which you need to know more about the plasma apocalypse, or the flood apocalypse, the trials by fire or water that happened to this place, constant resets, and everything happens over and over again. We just live in cycles. We're in the high density, low frequency realm right now, right before a fire apocalypse, according to the scholars and the people that study and operate the science on this philosophical term of the plasma apocalypse, or the reset apocalypse of this, the doomsday, the day the firmament breaks open and the world resets and cleanses itself, when God cleanses the world, when Jesus comes back. But it's the Jesus consciousness, it's the Christ consciousness that comes back. It's the frequency that comes back. We're in the negative frequency now. We're in the lower realm, right before the end, which is a new beginning, because it never ends. It always keeps going. Now, these reptilians, according to this article, they altered their DNA, blah, blah, blah. They altered the DNA so they altered our DNA so we don't use our brains. Now, I don't think that either, all right? I think that they have frequency weapons. They've altered all the frequencies. They got rid of the bells. The bells kept them, they were unable to use their frequency, whatever frequency powers they have, if they're internally or some kind of device. I do not know, but I do know they hide within the frequencies. With the lower frequency, they can keep their cloaking devices on and look like humans. Plus, I think some of them get so embedded into the material realm that they actually take over some human bodies, because they can possess humans, and they get them down to a lower frequency. Because I don't think humans do all this raping children and eating human flesh. I think they have to get down to such a low frequency that they actually are inhabited by a higher level entity. Well, not a higher level, but that entity does become a higher level once your mental, spiritual, and physical, your trinity becomes so low, you become weak, and you're open to other entities to possess your vessel. Because you're just an entity possessing your vessel right now. So we're just a higher level entity possessing a vessel. And then once, if you don't have control of this vessel, other entities can take control of your vessel. It's like you're drunk driving a car and your friend just throws you in the passenger seat and jumps in the driver's seat and takes off, and then now your friend is driving the car. But this time, if a reptilian takes over your vessel, it's not a friend. And they will make you do things that you will feel real bad about. because you're still a divine spirit of God that's in control of a vessel to live in this material realm. All right. Now, back to the story. I'll quit jumping off into crazy shit. But these human reptilian hybrids, considered demigods, were able to gain power in the ancient civilizations of Sumer, of Babylon, and Mesopotamia. As humankind started to colonize the rest of the planet, the reptiles spread across Earth and became the royal families throughout the world. They inhabit the bloodlines of the Illuminati. But we're gonna make another episode. My next show is gonna be about a lot about that whole thing. We're gonna talk about the necromancers, the ones that the dark magicians, the overlords of who created the Illuminati. Next show will be about that. But so on and so on. They came, they took over. Now, according to Ike, there's a hierarchy to the reptilians. Notably, there are two classes of reptiles. There's the full-bloods and the crossbreeds. The full-bloods are aware that they are reptilians and can change forms between their human exterior and their true reptilian skin. Also, there's the full reptiles. They're not wearing any actual physical disguise. Instead, the human shell is created through vibrations that alter the human mind, so that your brain just thinks it sees a human. Now, I can resonate with that. David, I can resonate with that. I do believe that is true. So what he's saying, there's the ones that are embedded into the matter. They've been living as humans so long. They've embedded inside they've had a host vessel, and they start retaining reptilian features. So then they have to wear actual skin or masks or whatever, but they like the skin. So I have a video on my TikTok about the skin farm. If you go to Ether Pliskin, I think it's Ether Pliskin 111. I'm not sure what the number. I should change it to 37 because that's my new little thing. 37 in the Chaldean numerology. It's a good number. I have to keep on adding it because I need good numbers to help me. But then you have the ones that are like the old timer reptilians. They're like very, very advanced with their psychics and frequency skills. They use like cloaking frequency device, and then they can travel. They're the ones that can they do interdimensional traveling a lot more. I think they might have showed up here. Some people might have contacted them back when our frequencies were higher, and we were living with more technology, better in congruence with nature, with God, with the creation. And that because once this place resets, it fills with energy, and we become psychic. We can talk just through our minds, so evil cannot hide as easy. There's less evil people around in society because we know what they're thinking, and everybody will just exile them or kill them so that they're not around. And I think they contacted some of these, and they entered in through when the reset happens, the dome breaks, and other travelers from outside the dome can't enter. And that's where the multiverse there's interdimensional travel possible, I think, because the energies and the plasmas outside of the dome makes it possible for you to travel into different realities, different dimensions, spirit world, dream world, other realities, other timelines. Okay, so in the John Carpenter movie, man, I'm getting some kind of feedback. I don't know what that is. I'm too close to the mic, and I'm getting the feedback. All right, I'll try to stay back. I don't like it. It's like kind of like a metallic sounding. All right. So in John Carpenter's cult classic They Live, this explains why reptilians are 5 to 12 feet tall, but wear human-sized disguise. They don't actually shrink in size. Our brains just register them as normal human size because changing physical size is considered impossible. On the other hand, hybrids or crossbreds are not aware that they are reptilian and believe they are human. Nah, you can change sizes. Anything is possible in the realms. Now, suspected reptilians, we got all the leadership in the world, all the Hollywood, the majority of Hollywood, and all the people running these death cults and sex clubs, and Maria Abramovich and Lady Gaga and all the presidents, all the puppets, all the government leaders are basically reptilians because they're just puppets for the actual controllers, who I'd say are working with the reptilians side by side, the necromancers, high-level dark magicians that have ancient secret knowledge from the past and then use it for dark treasures of what they want. Like they don't feel that light. I think they're so disconnected from the creator. They are jealous of the creator, envy the creator, and they want the creator's powers because we're all children of the creator. So these people are basically the devil, or what the story of Lucifer would be. These dark magicians. We'll get into that in the next episode. So blood is very important to these reptilians. One thing, they consume it. Hence Adrena, that thing, Google Chrome. They also eat parts of human brains and other flesh. Apparently prefer children because it's like when you eat veal, it's tender and juicy, and it's got the good adreno, because they are not as full of poisons as the adults, and that one too, because they're not toxified. Because they fill everybody with toxins so much that stuff just builds up inside of you, and you get addicted to the toxins, and you just keep on taking it. Now, 5, proof from the Bible the reptilians exist. David Icke points to a number of passages in the Bible. One of the most famous stories is the fall of man. In Genesis, Adam and Eve are cast out of the Garden of Eden because of Eve was tempted by a serpent. Icke argues that this representation represents a change in human and reptilian relationships. According to Icke, reptilians used to walk the earth and humans were aware of their existence. But as we mentioned, at some point they went underground and hid from humans and started the crossbreeding process. This could also be true too. I really don't know, but I can resonate with that too. Besides the story of Adam and Eve, another biblical passage that supposedly references the reptilians is Genesis 6:1-4, which reads, "When human beings began to increase in numbers on earth and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of humans were beautiful, and they married any of them they chose. Then the Lord said, my spirit will not contend with the humans forever, for they are mortal. Their days will be hindered in 120 years." The Nephilim. All right, so this is Nephilim story, and yeah, somewhat I can base with that, but I can get with that, but a lot of the stories I think have been changed, and I believe when it says that we are created in the image of God, it's not our mortal body, the vessel that we are in. We're created in the spiritual, the etheric form is what is in the image of God. Our spirit, our true self is the soul. That is what is made in the image of God. So we are a part of God. We are in the image. That is the true creation. God doesn't look like a man. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I don't know, but I know that not the majority, but all definitions of God are generic, because no man can actually comprehend what God is. We can comprehend to a small degree, but everybody gives it manly attributes that creates religions, makes it dangerous. Then you have holy wars and people trying to kill each other, thinking that over their God is realer than the other person's God. No, that is not what true creator would do. I think that's actually just insulting, I would think. But who knows? That's just a generic term. I don't even have. I mean, you'd have to really, really get down and to define true God is complicated. People cannot do it. Humans can't do it. I don't think so. And if you can, then you better write that shit down. It'll sell. You can sell that shit. All right. So again, evidence of inbreeding. Yeah, the Nephilim are connected to the jokers, the jesters, the DMT jesters. The black and white images. I do believe that those are connected to somehow the entities that were exiled by God into that realm, and that's where you go visit them. And they're the ones that contact the dark magicians, the necromancers, where they got the information how to build the majority of this blasphemous technology, which does not run in congruence with nature. It is on the lower spectrum of the frequency. That's why it's here in this cycle, part of the cycle, this technology, and it's always here every time. This happens over and over in these cycles here in this realm. And the exiled spirits are the jesters, and the jesters are connected to these reptilians. So in somewhat, yeah, but I don't think the story that they tell is actually, it's not the full story. We have to dive deeper into this story and figure it out, what's the right way. But yeah, pretty sure the Nephilim, the reptilians, they're pretty close to the same style of motherfuckers. All right, enough with this page. Let's get on to the next one. All right, what we got here? It's a blank page. The factually. All right. The reptilian or lizard people The reptilian or lizard people conspiracy traces to a long culture lineage of snake and reptile imagery in myth and fiction, but coalesced into a modern political conspiracy through 20th century pulp fiction and was popularized as a global shape-shifting elite narrative by David Icke in the late 1990s. Academics link the modern form to earlier fiction, occult writings, and pernicious strainings of anti-Semitic tropes. Skeptics note the theory's weak evidentiary basis and its real-world harms, including influence on violent actors and online misinformation. This is the factually against the reptilian conspiracy. An ancient imagery and folklore that set the stage. Reptilian figures have existed across cultures, the Naga and Southeast Asian mythology, and snake people episodes in Eurolore, providing a symbolic reservoir that later writers and co-thinkers could draw on. These myths supply familiar notice, but do not by themselves explain the modern political narrative. Pulp fiction's pivotal role, Robert E. Howard and the Serpent Man. Scholarly accounts and popular histories trace the modern conceptual seed of humanoid reptilians to Robert E. Howard's 1929 King Cole stories, introducing the Serpent Man, villains who could project human illusions. Michael Barkun, and don't forget, art always imitates life, true life. Michael Barkun and other researchers argue this pulp fiction trope was a direct antecedent to later conspiracy formulations. Mid-century occult UFO lore and isolated reports between pulp fiction and the late 20th century occult authors, and a UFO described slightly reptilian humanoids and symbols, and post-war occult claims circulated narratives of underground bases and reptilian involvement. Accounts that treated skeptically by researchers and often seem as hoaxes or folkloric transmissions. David Icke's systematizing a global shapeshifter conspiracy, 1999 onward. British conspiracy theorist David Icke transformed scattered notice into a sweeping claim in book like The Biggest Secret, the shape-shifting, blood-drinking reptilians from Alpha Dracon underground bases and control human institutions, listing dynasties and elites as linked to them. Icke's lectures and books spread the narrative internationally. Academic context and links to earlier prejudices. Researchers such as Michael Barkun and historians have argued that Icke's synthesis drew on pulp occult, emerald tablets lore, and colonial pseudo-histories, while critics trace a continuity between reptilian imagery and historical anti-Semitic depictions of Jews as snakes. Scholars warn that the theory can repurpose old bigotries into modern conspiratorial form. So on and so on. Alright. What do we got here? I think that video was banned. A lot of videos of this shape-shifting I'm going to show here. Let me take a drink. Water. Now, a lot of this imagery that we used to get back in the 90s, early 2000s, when I think the cable boxes used to jam the frequencies somehow. We used to get a lot of those videos of people be on the news or on TV, and the old digital analog cable, something with the frequencies that like hijack into their cloaking devices or their frequency technology and show what they're doing. But there is old, but I'm going to show here at the end of this presentation that I have video that connect this exactly to them, and some old manuscripts, some old manuscripts with pictures show these reptilians exactly black and white, and that is the interdimensional technology. You can step between worlds through the duality. In the duality realm, this technology I think only works. Alright, enough with that one. I did enough reading. Let's get to some videos, some pictures. Oh, here's a scientist that invented a technology to see multidimensional beings. Let's play a little video. If it will play.
The belief that we are not just a physical being living in a physical universe, but that we are multidimensional beings living in a multidimensional universe dates back to the earliest civilization. Many ancient spiritual and metaphysical philosophies, like Buddhism, Vedism, Hinduism, Kabbalism, and many others, believed that there were multiple realms of existence within the universe. They believed that the universe was somehow divided into planes, each comprising its own reality, populated and inhabited by multitudes of entities, beings, creatures, and objects. The hidden dimensions are unseen realms and make up a much larger proportion of the universe than the physical parts which are visible to us. Physicists know this and call the unseen parts dark matter and dark energy. Conventional science has not yet theorized a plan of these higher dimensions, so we must look to ancient knowledge and alternative science for the answers. The following passage from the ancient Hindu text, the Vishnu Purana, states much the same thing. This universe, composed of 7 zones, is everywhere swarming with living creatures, large or small, so that there is not the 1/8 part of an inch in which they do not abound. Eastern spiritual science describes 7 planes. The lower planes express more of the matter aspect and are therefore more material, and the higher planes express more of the energy aspect and are therefore more subtle. The 7 planes are not specific locations. They all interpenetrate each other and occupy the same space. Different levels of consciousness are required to perceive the different planes or dimensions. The Kabbalah has its own system of cosmology called the Tree of Life. It has 10 sephiroth or worlds, which correspond exactly with the 7 planes of the Eastern systems. In the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, in Tablet 10, called the Key of Time, we found the following passage. List ye, O man, and hear a mystery, stranger than all that lies neath the sun. Know ye, O man, that all space is filled by worlds within worlds. Aye, one within the other, yet separate by law. The ancients knew intuitively that the universe had many invisible parallel realities, but they lacked a science to explain how this was possible. This is no longer the case, and there is nothing at all mystical about it. It's just physics, the physics of energy and frequency. It has been written about before, over and over again, but cannot be emphasized enough. The world of quantum physics is an eerie one that sheds light on the truth about our world in ways that challenge the existing framework of accepted knowledge. What we perceive as our physical material world is really not physical or material at all. In fact, it is far from it. This has been proven time and time again by multiple Nobel Prize-winning physicists, among many other scientists around the world. One of them was Niels Bohr, a Danish physicist who made significant contributions to understanding atomic structure and quantum theory, for which he received the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1922. According to Bohr, if quantum mechanics hasn't profoundly shocked you, you haven't understood it yet. Everything we call real is made of things that cannot be regarded as real, radiating our own unique energy signature and frequency, not tangible matter. Infrared, ultraviolet, and such. However, he went one step and came up with the idea. As a teenager, Daniel Niemes has had a passion for science and astronomy, so it was no surprise when his vocation took him into the field of science. Today, Niemes is both a scientist and inventor in Colombia, with him claiming he has the technology to photograph multidimensional beings. Niemes said that his interest in the multidimensional universe began after a magazine article attracted his attention about the dark matter of the universe. He then came up with the idea of devising technology through optical experiments along with mathematical calculations that would allow him to take images of multidimensional beings. Niemes knew about the development of technology which can capture images of black light, infrared, ultraviolet, and such. However, he went one step ahead and found a way of capturing the unknown that was far superior. He named the technology he invented energy vision. Niemes combined special lenses along with the sunlight and used screens that are ultra-sensitive that he created. With his invention, Niemes claims that he can capture images that are of unknown origin. The images come from other planes of existence and show various multidimensional beings and creatures. NASA and other companies must surely want to get their hands on such technology, but Niemes said he has not exposed his invention, but he did try to make the scientific community aware of its existence. Neems also claims the media has silenced his discovery and the images that he has taken using his technology. Neems has published many images through Facebook and revealed that since 2015, he posted more than 1,000 photos to his page. The scientist claims to have had a great deal of rejection and many insults have come his way, along with disbelief of the images. He said, "The only way I have to publicize my invention and the captures are by Facebook. Since 2015, I have posted 1,000 photos on my Facebook page. When I started to publish my images on my social network, I had a lot of rejection. It was very hard and there were many insults towards me. Fortunately, my images are now more known, and when I post on Facebook or in other groups, it is rare to receive a disqualification or insult." There is no denying that the photos are strange, and in almost all of them, it is possible to see strange figures or faces. Many people who have had spiritual experiences in other dimensions or used a spirit molecule known as DMT report that these beings are very similar to the beings that they saw during their experiences. Whether they are the faces and bodies of multidimensional beings from unknown worlds remains to be proven. One thing is for sure, the images are incredibly interesting to look at. Tell us what you think. Do you believe multidimensional beings exist?
Yes.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video,
That's it. All right. That's pretty intriguing. I thought so. But yes, I do know that interdimensional beings exist. I've met some myself. Not on DMT, but sober. But I have met some things on some psychedelics before, but that's another day, another story. Now, this cloaking device that these things use is cloaking technology. It is called liquid crystal polarization. And it looks like, I don't know if you can see this picture. It's behind me. It's behind me. It's like that. Let me try to pull it out a little bit. They're right above me. That's what it looks like. That is liquid crystal polarization. And it has the properties that are between the conventional liquids and those of solid crystals. For example, a liquid crystal can flow like liquid, but its molecules may be orientated in a common direction as it is a solid. There are many types of liquid crystal phases which can be distinguished by their optical properties, such as textures. The contrasting textures arise due to molecules within one area of the mineral or domain being orientated in the same direction, but different areas having different orientations. And a liquid crystal material may not always be in a liquid crystal state of matter, just as water may be ice or water vapor. And that is liquid crystal. That is what it looks like. You're going to see more samples of this as I show you the different beings or different people that are, hold on, fix this. Some of the different examples of people in liquid crystal formations on them. All right. My apologies if there's like a static sound. It keeps on happening. I've been having mic problems, sound problems on that. It took me like 3 hours. I've been messing with this mic trying to get this presentation ready. My apologies. The sound, I've been trying to get the sound perfect. But this is what I get for getting a $30 mic and soundboard. I'm saving up to get a new one as soon as possible. I'd like to get nice crisp sound. I do a lot of work trying to make these productions happen pretty good. I'm new to this stuff, but I've been studying and researching on how this stuff goes. So, all right, now here's this guy's this guy has some videos of people with liquid crystal, and some of his theories is damn good.
Who have negative archonic energy attached to their subconscious. A practicing black magician would. You often hear me joke around a lot of times, but it's 100% true. You can look at people and see the evil right on them. Look at the Rothschilds. You know, there's plenty of elite. Soros, Klaus Schwab. You look at these people and you could see, like, yeah, they're the typical, and then they joke about it, like Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. And what's interesting about that is Matt Groening, creator of The Simpsons, is a 33-degree Mason. Yeah. And they made an episode joking around about that one time, where they were joking around about the Illuminati and The Simpsons, with Mr. Burns being one of the, yeah, like a Rothschild. That's the word I was looking for. So, now these anomalies only get picked up in camera. I've done a lot of, yeah, I'm looking at it right there. That's pretty creepy. You see how that happens. These anomalies are always in white and black. Now, regardless of what you may think with all these social politics out there, I'm a trained art student. And I'm going to tell you right now, black and white are not colors. What black and white is white.
White is all the colors moving as fast as possible, and black is the absence of color. Let's see if he says the same.
Is the presence of light. Black is the absence of light. And all the shades of gray in between, I'm not trying to, yeah, 50 shades of gray, are all on the gray scale, and technically they are not colors. Now, in the occult, you're very familiar with the black and white checkerboard floor. That's why we get the duality of black and white. That comes from the Masons. Everyone knows that African Americans are really, their skin is brown, and white people, our skin is really tan. But we don't call ourselves brown and tans. No, it's got to be black and white. The same thing. That comes from the duality in the occult for a reason. It's very important in occult ritual. Now, I plan on doing a few more live streams on liquid crystal polarization anyway. They're always good to do. This is getting downloaded and added to my... I might actually remake a video about this. I'm pretty good at video editing. I mean, score it to my own music. Oh.
Alright, so he doesn't know really about the black and white symbolism. It's actually also interdimensional travel technology. It's the frequencies of those two colors mixed together, because everything is frequency, and once you can figure out how to optimize those frequencies to your own benefit using the frequencies within you, your heart is an electromagnetic generator that you can produce frequencies to change your reality. Now, what these entities and black magicians do are manipulate all society. So, see, society is the way it is right now. We live in a manufactured society through our own resonance. So everybody has been, so the mass of the population has been so MK Ultra mind controlled using these black boxes, the scrying mirrors and everything, and they've just been updating their technology over, and they have it to a point to where they can use, because we manifest our own reality, so everybody has been brainwashed into manifesting this reality. But it's to a point now, like, everybody wants something to help them. Like, nobody knows that they're the ones that can help themselves. You just have to help. You're the only one who can change your own world. You know, nothing's going to come to save you. You might be lucky to live during the reset, but if you live through that cataclysm, that's a cleansing of this world. Now, if you're lucky enough, if you've done enough work on yourself, to where you can manifest. You don't drown in the ground, in the dirt, like the dirt swallows you up, or you get sucked up into the sky, into a hole in the sky, or a flood comes over you and you drown, or you catch on fire, you burn to death by a bolt of plasma, or a plasma sprite, or something that looks like a Sephirim with it's a plasma ball with all these eyes on it, and just burns you to death because your frequency is wrong. Well, we'll see. But you should just start working on yourself. That's the best thing that could save you. Now let's look at this. This is Jenna Bush. I have this video somewhere. I posted it somewhere a while back. Just a little clip of it. Mute that. Alright, let's see. Now, she changes pretty good. This is the Bush family. They're all reptilians. I'm positive. I used to watch this show back when I lived in Cali. Before I was, I knew a little bit, but I didn't know much back then. Watch that morning show with that guy and the two girls. I lived in Covina for a while. Beautiful weather out in California, beautiful land, but horrible people. Not all of them, but a good majority. Alright, get with the liquid crystal polarization. She's going to start talking, and she's going to start getting the liquid crystal polarization on herself. Come on, come on. Alright, it's starting to show slowly. It starts breaking down. The frequencies somehow start breaking down. And it always conforms to their skin. I have some really good samples here I'm going to show you guys. And it's the entity that's embedded in. Either they're the entity or they are just the old ones that can actually manufacture the cloaking technology. See, they'll pull the camera off at her because they know, because they're all in on it. They're all the, Hollywood and all the big TV channels, and it's all a mind control process, just like on They Live. It was actually a documentary, that They Live. The frequency that they were using to hide the cloaking of the alien things that lived on They Live. Same story. It's a true story. Dude was just doing a documentary of it in fictional form. Life imitating, or art imitating life. There she is. There's her true form coming out of the surface. They keep on, ja! Alright, let's look at another one more. What we got here? I'm trying to. Let's look at these. Is this the Bengals? The band? The Bengals? What happened? Let's see. Two girls from the band, the Bengals. This guy, Kenning and Reptilians. Let's see him changing. Some people, they know that they're reptilians, and there's other people that have lower level frequencies. Everyday people can get inhabited by these things. Don't just travel physically in the physical world, but they also, because they can travel interdimensional in between the physical and the spiritual realms. That's what the black and white technology represents, traveling between physical and spiritual realms, interdimensional travel. See, the technology, the liquid crystal polarization, is showing, because back, like I said, back in the day, in the 2000s, early 2000s, 90s through the 90s, the analog digital cable, something about it could break the frequency of their cloaking. Now I'm going to show you some things pretty soon. I'm going to show you proof that this black and white stuff is these lizards are real. Alright. What is on this video right here? Oh, this is the guy from the vampire movie. He's one too. All just basically all like Trump, all of the politicians, every leader of every country, they're all the same. They're all reptilians or dark magicians, one or the other. And even the dark magicians, probably reptilians, is they sold their souls to these demons to have control over the lower levels of the population, just the working class and everything, because we work to fluff their nests. They have obscene amounts of abundance to where they do absolutely nothing, and they just obtain all of the riches, all of the just, they don't have to work. They just have like outlandish forms of luxury. This is insane. Like, there's people that hold so much money. This one person has enough money to feed countries and countries of people, when food should just grow on the streets. They keep everything in scarcity when we could just have food growing on streets. We could plant food everywhere, fruit and vegetables and stuff, and it could just be growing everywhere. You just walk outside and pick food. There's enough land in this whole world where everybody could have a house. Everybody. People could just get together and build houses for. If we could work in a way congruent with peace between everyone and with nature, and we wouldn't even have to work. You could work a few days a week, but they make it so that they want to drain your soul. They want you in depression state. They feed off this. The reptilians feed off your pain and fear, what they call loosh harvesting or prana harvesting. They do this. It is in giant, like the whole stadiums that they're sports. You have one side which wins and their team is like, they're all happy, and on the other side they're just depressed and they want to kill themselves because some team that they think they're part of, because they root for it or they cheer for, they've connected themselves to it by the mind control, has got them so wrapped up into this. Like, they think they love this team more than their own family. They love this team. It's ridiculous. They have totally disgraced the whole of humanity and turned it into just a shit show. And people think it's cool to live like that, to want to step on somebody's neck, to get another rung on the ladder, to just get another dollar. You just cut somebody's throat. Like, it's not the way. Like, they've turned the greed. They've used everybody's they've used your own natural instincts, your natural instincts against you. The sex, the for food, for the scarcities, for a home. They've used everything as a weapon used against you to make people go against humanity. Like, it'd be so easy to just turn this place around and make it a better place where everybody could be to live in. Like, back in some of the old tribes and stuff, like, they've changed history. Everything is a lie. Everything is a lie. Everything is a lie. We wouldn't need prisons if people didn't have greed. You can make a society where it's not greed, and you can make it to where everybody learns something, or you have time to learn piano or learn some kind of art, learn culture, learn to make life beautiful, to live in beauty, to make your life more beautiful, to make the world more beautiful. And the more people that have that like heart, to teach them the right to the golden, like the true golden knowledge of Creator. This place is ran and has embedded darkness into the minds of the masses, and the masses have manifested this reality into the cold, dark place that it is. When they could do so much better. They could do so much better, but they don't. These people are. Now, this isn't an excuse just because there's reptilians and everything in control, and dark magicians and everything. You can still do the best to help Be kind. Create a world. Create yourself. Make yourself how you'd want the world to be. And that's the problem. That's how it is. There's all kinds of people making themselves as what the world shows them. They make themselves as like, oh, this rap video taught me I should rob people and do drugs. So now everybody wants to rob people and do drugs. No. That's not. And they think it's cool because the manipulation, the mind control has taught them that's what is cool. They've used your natural instincts against you. They've weaponized you against yourself. Here's another one. Another one. Who's this guy? I don't even know. Alright, let's get to the meat and potatoes. Alright, this guy's a good one. This guy drew a demon.
I'm here commenting on the reptilian. Basically, until recently, I thought these news reporters and everything may have been a glitch in regard to the cameras. But after seeing this particular video, I no longer think that. I noticed here, right here, there's a thing changing to his face. You can start to see it in his arm as well. And that's not a tattoo on his left arm. It's actually the thing now starting to appear. You'll now start to see it appearing behind him. But if you notice, it's very clearly attached to his face. Yet no other part of the video except for behind him and his arm. Notice how it moves with him. It's down his leg. You can actually see that this thing is actually clearly attached to him. But notice those two back legs to the rear. And they are actually moving back legs. As he moves, they move. It's not a reverb of him. It's not a digital mistake. I believe the camera has actually picked this up. And I've seen it in the news reports now. Up until recently, I believed that they were fakes, but after I spotted this video myself, I no longer believe them to be fakes. I believe them to be true. That whatever this creature is behind this poor gentleman, it is actually controlling him. I noticed that it started to appear at the same time that he was talking about his own drawings, like a vanity.
On his head.
I'm an artist myself, and it's strange. Like all of a sudden, I get these urges to paint and different things like that. And like all artists, I get vain in regard to my work, and I've been wondering myself.
I'll show you
as to what does this, but when I don't think I've got this problem. I'm a Christian myself, so I'm sort of praying to God that
there it is. Look at his face.
I'm safe. But when I'm looking at this thing behind him, it's some creature. It looks like a creature because it has two back legs. It is attached to him, and if you notice that there is some kind of a head structure, a tail structure, a back rear body structure, and two legs, and then all of a sudden it just disappears, as you just see there. So yeah, it's up to yourself what you think, but yes, I've actually found it, and this is not the actual only one that this poor gentleman is being controlled by one of these beings. And yes, I do believe it to be a being. So there you go, folks. Just a little thing.
And there you go, folks. Just a little reptilian action right there. Alright, what do we got here? Oh, the Beat This manuscript. Alright, that's where I found these pictures is in Ancient Beatus manuscript. Let me go to the top. AI's description of it. The Morgan Beatus is an illuminated codex with 68 full pages, miniatures, and 48 smaller ones. The paintings, there's a few different manuscripts. There's the Morgan Beatus, the Saint Saber Beatus, the Girona Beatus, the Osma Beatus, the Madrid Beatus, the Tabira Bitas. These are all manuscripts that talk about the apocalypse. They're all pictures describing eschatology of, and they're a form of eschatology. Las Yugalas, apocalypse. The Genevas Bitas, the commentary on the apocalypse by the 8th century Spanish monk and theologians, Beatus of Libiana, is used today to refer to any of the extant manuscript copies of this work, especially any of the 26 illuminated copies that have survived. The Beatus manuscripts are considered to be a genre unto themselves within the larger corpus of splendid medieval manuscripts of the apocalypse. They are of special importance for Spanish art history, although Beatus manuscripts were also produced in France and Italy. Now, I'm going to show you some pictures. Not that one. This one. All right. All right. Now here's an old picture. There's a lot of pictures of these angels killing reptilian type beings. I've found thousands of them, hundreds of them. I have a whole bunch of them downloaded on my phone. Here's this one actually has some skin. You see that? Yeah. All right. Make sure. Oh, wrong picture. Wrong one. All right. That's right. That's right. All right. So there's these different pictures of these angels killing these reptilian beings, all kinds of different shapes and sizes. So this one looks like a woman, but it has like a skin of a man or something like holding to it. I don't even know if it's a man. It could be its skin pulled off, but it looks like some kind of reptilian demon lady. But there's many pictures of these angels killing. I didn't post a lot of them. A lot of them look like different, like they didn't look like reptilian humanoids, kind of like this one did. A lot of them look like all kinds of different kind of like reptilian demons. But and here's the bells. Back when they got rid of the bells, all these pictures are out of order. They're all over the place. So here's back when they started dismantling the bells, which was the bells when they rang, they kept a frequency which is believed to have kept the reptilians at bay. And it was known that the bells have healing frequencies, and they dismantled a lot of the old architecture and everything because everything was built with beauty, like I was speaking, like how humanity could live and create things with art and beauty, and everything would just be like everything they made back in the old days, like was just with 100% make it look good, and everything they did it good. Nowadays, you can barely get somebody to cook your hamburger. Not that I eat hamburgers. I'm just giving an example. Or eat fast food at all. But like you couldn't even get somebody to make your 5-second sandwich at a store with any love. They make it taste better. I'm telling you. I used to cook. And I cook everything with love and that's what gave it its flavor. You gotta put your heart into it. Put your heart and soul into anything that you do, and you make it. It will receive the mark of a creation, and be beautiful. And look at all the bells. They dismantled all the bells. That was the beginning when these things started infesting heavily. Is when they won one of the wars, the World War I and World War II. These were the beginnings of the infiltration. The dark magicians or the necromancers and the reptilian beings, and who knows what else kind of beings that are up there living with these fools, using us as slaves. More bells, dismantled, made with pure heart. just looking at the stuff that was made back then is just like, man, you know, they put in a lot of effort, hard work into that, just to, because they had a pride for what they made. More bells, just sitting there so they can melt them down to make bullets to kill people, or bombs to blow people up, blow things up. What a waste of good history, art, beauty, something worthwhile in the world, to take it and destroy it to create pain and suffering. It was like an old building right there. That's the beauty right there that takes your heart and energy. You can see, you could feel that building when you look at it. You don't just see it, you could feel it. You can feel it in your heart. Beautiful beauty. It has substance beyond this world, substance beyond just the material realm. It has spirit. Now here's from the Beat This manuscripts. These black and white lizard beings connected to people. There might be one connected to you right now. You might not even be able to see it. Now I translated some of the words in this page. I have it cropped right now. I think I have the full page somewhere else, and some other description. Another one I found. But this page was talking about how is something Revelations in the Bible, and these are sin. Now this book was back in the 1400s. Look how these people are dressed. Not too much different than in the 1940s, 1950s. I mean, maybe the cloak things is like a robe. That dude's like wearing a robe, but that dress very similar to today's style. Nothing changes. Everything's always. We're always here, living in this realm, or we're in the spirit world. Now, see these black and white zigzags? That's because that's their interdimensional technology to travel through space, through different dimensions, through the spirit world and the matter, through the physical and the spiritual worlds. The magic of the mind, power, the greatest power on earth. Rosicrucians. I think that's some kind of a application to join the Rosicrucians or something back in the 1930s or 50s. I'm not sure what was the timestamp on that book. Now here's another thing. You know, the Pope wears a fish hat. This is Dagon, the fish god, fish man, supposedly connected to the Vatican somehow because they wear the fish hats, and then there's symbolism of it. Maybe that wasn't a fish man. Maybe it was a reptilian shapeshifted into a fish man. There's another depiction of an angel killing a reptilian type being. There's always these angels standing over a reptilian being that they're killed. Same type of symbolism and imagery as like Saint Michael, Archangel Michael standing over the devil. Same style. Dagon and the fish people. Were they fish people? Or were they just reptilians? Some cheesy fish costumes they made. More bells. A frequency weapon and a frequency healing system. A technology lost from us. Now I think I've heard in some churches they just play recordings of a bell. They don't even use a real bell. The auditorium for the Pope, where the Pope's throne sits in the hall of the reptilian head. And back down there is a wooden statue of Jesus getting blown up by a nuclear bomb, which turns to the side. You can see a silhouette of a reptilian head. I'll show show you a picture here in a minute. There's a reptilian type person just carrying a person around. Probably gonna take them and skin them, fillet them, and put them on like clothes. Come out and he's all black. He lost his white spiritual, so he has to use the physical. So he lost part of his technology. He's stuck in the matter. He's been in the matter too much, consuming on the material world's energy, to where it's just like you could eat a fruit fast for a week. You'll be so connected to the spiritual realm, you disconnect. Fruit fast, just eat fruit for 1 week. For a few days, you'll see how clear your mind gets, how much more you'll be connected to the spiritual realm. Eat a whole bunch of bacon and bread and drink a whole bunch of milk, and you'll see how weighed down and heavily you're more into the matter world. You'll be more connected to the matter, more connected to the material realm. Here's some monk type people. This is another old image I pulled. This is crop 2. I didn't have the whole thing. It's just to enlarge the reptilian things coming out of their mouth. It's like baby reptiles. Born green. I guess they didn't have their black and white. Well, they're not old enough probably to use. But if you look at these heads on this picture, they're very similar to the heads on these beings. Look very similar, but smaller. You got the reptilians coming out of their mouths. Take over the power classes. The priests were high-level power classes back then. They had a lot of control over the masses. It's what these things do. And they work with the dark magicians. Or these people probably sold their soul. They sell their soul to these things for the knowledge and wisdom, because they just want a nice couch and a big ass house. That, what are you gonna do in a big ass house? Why do you need to spend that much money? Why do you need to have a giant fucking house with 20 bedrooms and a 30-car garage when you just live with another person? Why does one person need that big of a fucking house? Really? Tell me. There's another depiction of an angel standing over a reptile being that's being killed by the angel. These can also symbolically represent some kind of images during the apocalypse, which everything ties into eschatology, because that is the most important event in the world, and you can only be lucky enough to experience the apocalypse. Maybe we'll be that lucky. I feel it's coming. Signs are pointing towards it. Time's speeding up. The sun is turning brighter and brighter. The negative energy is denser and denser. The winds are blowing harder. The sun is getting hotter. These are all signs of the apocalypse. Time's speeding up. Time's going real fast, man. Real fast. I barely get a weekend. Not that I want a weekend. I want a strong end to my... I don't even want to call it a week. To my days of work. So I work hard. I do hard work, man. Work on a farm. I do a lot of heavy labor. Heavy lifting. A lot of hard work. Digging. All kinds of stuff. Some more bells. Wasted. Beautiful, beautiful art. Beautiful technology to help heal and keep you safe. Dismantled and thrown astray. Beautiful buildings, beautiful art, giant buildings. It could be used for housing many, many people. Many people. But no, we need to burn it down and build some crappy buildings so that we can hoard them and have them half or 90% empty so we can use them for small little offices and try to rent portions of it to get money, because everybody's greedy and got to get more ones and zeros added to their imaginary portfolio in the imaginary world. Got to have the invisible chains. Those ones and zeros are invisible chains locking you in to the slave technology they have created for us. You are the temple of God. You can change the world by changing yourself. That's all it takes. That's all it fucking takes. Just gotta work on it every fucking day. More bells. More beautiful bells. And if they keep them, all the ones that they have kept on display, they either crack them, they cut a chunk out of them. All the little fancy bells you find around the world that are set on display, they have broke them. They're broke them so that they cannot be used, because the ding will vibrate the reptilian out of their hiding spots. You are a spiritual being inside of a vessel to experience a matter, a solid, dense world. These are your energy centers. Seven energy centers. You can power up, clean your body out, and use these powers. You're a high-level creator being. You are a child of the Creator himself. You were made in the image of Creator. You can do things these other entities cannot do. And now we are slaves to these lower-level entities because we have been compromised. More bells. More bells. Just sizing them up. How many bullets can you make? How many bombs can we make out of that one? How many people can we kill with this old healing technology? Yeah, they kept the reptilian as a slave. Maybe the reptilians are mad that the more powerful humans that learned how to use their sacred 7 energy centers and got them up to full power, and they could just carry this little reptilian around. Kind of feel bad for the reptilian then, but if you knew how evil they were, you wouldn't feel how bad for them. Like, come on, reptilian. You're not going to be conquering humanity today. More bell technology. More bell technology. Now, this was done worldwide, and you think there's a division of governments? All governments are controlled by the same entities, the same beings, same people control every government. You think this war in Iran and America and Israel, you think there's division between each one of those systems of control? No, they are all controlled by the same entities. Now, back when Corona happened, I was figuring that there's certain times where the frequencies and the energies are off in the world. They change, where the veil almost opens. I swear I seen a few people back then wearing a mask, and they were hiding. They were reptilian. You could tell they're the reptile faces behind that mask. And they make the world wear these masks during these times that the veil is thinner. And these times are certain power energy times where people have a chance. They could take over. They could take their power back. We could take our power back any time, but these energy, these certain times, I think we're coming up on another one of them times right now. Right now. That's why they're pulling this whole war thing. So we're coming into another power vortex, power portal, energy portal where the veil is thin. So they're going to start making people wear masks again too soon. Watch. Just watch. Ancient pyramids in Bosnia, Serbia area. in the Baltic states, some of the largest pyramids in the world. There's pyramids in Egypt that everybody knows of, pyramids in Mexico. There's many pyramids in China that nobody knows, but these are in the Baltics. Look, it looks like mountains of pyramids back there. Those are all pyramids. These are pyramids. These aren't mountains. They're pyramids. They're all pyramids. For a time when we were a lot more connected to the spirit. More bells. You gotta guard them bells. Make sure nobody rings them. To vibrate the reptilians. Little image this lady has. The halo means her energy is grand. The light. She has a whole bunch of reptilian things behind her. The broken commandments, 10 commandments broken. With the priest on their knees bowing to this lady. Could she be, she's holding a chalice of some sort. The Holy Grail, maybe. Did she have some part in the reptilian takeover? It's like an army of reptiles behind. You are an expression of the infinite consciousness of the universe, manifest in a third dimension, a dense reality. Vibration. Nothing can influence you unless you agree to it, unless you give it consent. When you realize that this is just a game, a drama to be played out, knowing who and what you are is your greatest power. No external fight is necessary. Only an internal revolution can set you free, stand in your own sovereignty, and enjoy the world. This is an old statue of a monk. You can see the symbol in the hand of the sun. It's because once you attune your energies, your hands are called, inside of your hands is called palms. Palm is another word for lamp. You can absorb the heat and energy of the sun through your hands. You can actually, I believe, you can absorb enough of that energy, you can put that light back out through your hands, through the lamp, through the palm. Akasha is a term for ether in traditional Indian cosmology, and the root word in Sanskrit is derived from kas, meaning to be visible. In classical Vedantic Hindu philosophy, Akasha acquires its technical meaning of an ethereal fluid imagined as pervading the cosmos. Akasha is seen as the essence of all things in the material world and has a direct translation of upper sky or infinite space. Akasha's main characteristics is Shabda, meaning etheric sound. Esoterically, Shabda is the sound current vibrating in all of creation and is the essence of source, which is readily available to all beings. If we merge with Shabda, the Akasha, we become a living manifestation of it at its highest level. The word made flesh, the prana, is in all pervasive cosmic energy that acts as the vital life force for the creative wave. The mind principle is the wave of consciousness. More bells. There's another video. The Fox newscaster, and it shows pretty good. Shows a pretty good description of it. I wonder if I could. I don't know how I could zoom this in here. Maybe right here. Nope. Can't. Maybe if I pause it. Let's see. Pause. Oh. Nope. You can see this thing makes a skull face on him. He has like a 666 mudra. There's a skull right there. There's like a 66 mudra. 666 mudra on the hands. See right there? 36 Mafia right there. He's on 36 Mafia gang sign. This is for Fox News. Straight reptilian demon. There's another one from the Beat This manuscripts. A different picture of a lizard. It's got like eyeballs on it. And it's draining his prana, his energy is attached to him. You have to defend yourself spiritually, psychically, and physically in this realm. There are things that are coming for you. Alright. I think I'm done for the evening. I hope everybody has a good night. Come here, boy. Come here, boy. You guys see my cat? He's the cutest. I'm gonna shut it off for tonight. Come here, boy. This is the boys. Peanut. He's the best boy. Oh. Alright. I hope everybody has a good night. That's Peanut. Or the boy. I call him the boy. He's the best kitty in the world. He's a strong kitty. He's a madman. I found him here on the farm. Raised him. Him and his two brothers. Raised all three with bottles. They're the best boys in the world. Oh boy. Ain't that right, boy? Yeah, you're a good boy, son. Tell the people what you think. Tell them what you think. I love you, boy. Alright. Love everybody. See you guys later. Peace out. Alright. Have a good evening. Peace out. Hope you enjoyed the presentation. See you next time.